that I hear a lot from parents that's really difficult for them is when their child or young person will say, "You don't understand." And as the parent, you have spent your entire child's life sometimes knocking down doors, explaining to people their needs, trying to get other people to understand, doing lots of things extra for your child because you feel like you do understand what they struggle with. So it's a hard thing to hear, definitely. But we need to accept it as true. We can't always understand. Particularly as a neurotypical person, it is nigh on impossible for me to understand the perspective of someone with a neurodivergence, with a completely different way of seeing and perceiving the world around them. And actually, I believe personally that true empathy is not putting yourself in someone else's shoes, it's understanding that their shoes have got bugger all to do with what they experience as a person. I don't know if I'm twisting my metaphors up there. What I mean is, I know I can't understand the world from your point of view. That's empathy, because I'm not you, and everybody's story is different. And when you throw in something like being autistic or having an attention difference, those differences are huge and even more variable compared to someone, such as myself, who is allegedly neurotypical. Um, though that's up for debate apparently in certain circles. But the point being, you almost have to accept that as a parent, that you cannot understand. What is really important is that and you could even echo this back to the child, is no, but I will never give up trying. I'll never give up trying to understand you and listening to you. And if you can help me understand more, brilliant. And I will never stop caring. you know and those are the things that matter. Don't get fixated on the fact that they don't think you understand, and you as a parent, you want that connection. You feel like you do understand your child. And not for nothing, because you'll have heard me say it before, you do understand your child better than probably anyone else in the world other than themselves, potentially. Certainly more than Johnny Professional, who's telling you, to do X, Y, and Z, that you've been trying to do for the last 5 years, and you know how difficult that is. And they're just saying, well, just do more of that. Get more exercise. It's good for you. Eat more greens. So, yeah, acceptance of that statement is a starting point. You know, you may not understand them. You may never understand exactly where they're coming from. I'll give you an example of this. Again, that's a general bit of advice. That's something I think would be helpful for anybody in that situation here in that comment. Is actually, no, I don't understand you and your situation entirely. I try my bloody hardest to make sure I do, and I'm always willing to let you help me understand it better. I'd always want to know what it's like for you, and I will never stop caring, whether I understand or not. You know, but one particular example where that can happen would be for a parent of a autistic child or young person with PDA profile, because I work a lot with a lot of families and a lot of parents who support a child or young person with that profile, and we talk a lot about demand spotting. And again, I've worked with some parents who think they're brilliant at spotting demands and reducing demands and removing demands. Not from the young person's point of view. You're a bossy boots. And the thing is, those demands can be ingrained over time. The fact that for most of their life, when you said the word bed, it usually was connected to a time when you were going to try and make them go to sleep or go to bed, or encourage them to, at least, maybe not make them, but they didn't know that. uh, so that word then carries a demand. Again, parents that will talk about meal times. I'm not demanding at all. I'll cook him anything he wants as long as he eats. So I'm down the shop buying this at 12 o'clock. So that there belays your intention that you are desperate for them to eat some food, because of course you are. You're their parent and you care about them. That's perfectly normal and natural. What isn't normal and natural sometimes is going, I have to not care so much about them eating, or certainly not show it, because that's where the demand comes from. And that's such a, I don't know, you know, it's easy to sit here and say, here's what you do. I don't know how I would cope with that as a parent. Genuinely, I don't know until that situation happens to me, but I like to think I would know what I was supposed to be doing, and that's my job, I guess, to pass that on to you guys. Right.